Hey everyone, this is Mike. Today we are back in League of Legends. This time around, not a live game commentary like I have been doing for the most part when I made League of Legends videos, but we have a new event going on at the moment, the Spirit Blossom Festival, and it's actually a really cool event, both from the things that it introduced into the game, the marketing around it, the new champions that are being released, basically a bunch of cool stuff. And we're going to be talking about all of those things today. So first of all, I'm going to be talking about the Spirit Blossom Festival, how it works, some of the other stuff around it, like the trailers that they have shown over the last few days. Going to be talking a little bit about Yone, which is a new champion that has been revealed last night, and then in the second half I'm just going to be talking about Lillia, the new champion that was released together with the Spirit Blossom Festival, and kind of give you my opinion on her, because I played a few games as her, did a couple of really good games, a couple of bad games, and just kind of talk about her kit in general. So let's start off with the Spirit Blossom Festival. This was first teased in the Lillia reveal trailer because we could see some skins of Teemo, Riven as well as Kindred. So we knew something was gonna come, and then later down the line we got the Path trailer, which was basically the introduction to the Spirit Blossom Festival itself. Very cool looking trailer, definitely recommend you go check that one out if you also want to get some more story behind everything that is going on. And talking about story, the Spirit Blossom Festival itself is actually very different from the usual events that we have had in the past. For example, the last event where we had an event pass for was the Pulsefire event, if I'm not mistaken, but basically you just bought the pass, you got some missions, and that was it. With the Spirit Blossom Festival, the pass will basically give you bonus rewards on the missions that are already there. The missions are free for everyone, but you just get more stuff if you buy the event pass, which I think is a pretty good thing. When it comes down to the reward structure, it's kind of the same as it's been before for the most part. You just play games, you get your rewards, your currency, and then with that currency you can buy stuff like orbs, chromas for your skins, prestige points, that kind of stuff. Basically the stuff that we've had before, but we now have these spirit bonds, which is a whole new thing that we haven't had before. So we have this spirit bond map where you can basically see all of the different champions that are getting a skin in this event itself. And then there's basically kind of like a dating simulator vibe from all of this. So when you click on the champions, you get some dialogue with them. There is of course also a dialogue log, if that's what you could call it, if you didn't read everything and you want to just like read through everything in one go or something like that. But basically whenever there is something with a champion, just click on them, you get some dialogue, you get some answers that you can give to them as well that changes the dialogue that they have from time to time. But there's basically a lot of lore, a lot of story behind this, which is something that you usually don't really see in MOBAs all that much. The only MOBA that I can really think about where the lore of the game, the story of the game was kind of pushed in your face was Dawngate, but that game died. Is trying to be revived, by the way. I made a video on that not too long ago. But outside of Dawngate, there isn't really any MOBA that I really felt like tries to push the story forward and make it very easy for the consumer. And this time around with League of Legends, with this festival, they have done so. Every time that you complete a new mission, there is some new dialogue available for you right there if you are interested in the story at all, of course, because if you don't care about the story, you can just skip it altogether and just get your rewards towards the end. When it comes down to the reward structure, I think they did a pretty good job as well. Whenever you get level 1 or rank 1, I guess you could say, on all of your characters, you get the champion shard. So if you don't have those characters yet, then you can just basically craft them. Kind of a mistake that I made. I bought Lillia when she was released because I was very excited to try her out, and then I saw that you could get the champion shards from just getting level 1 on Lillia. But yeah, could have had her a little bit cheaper, but it is what it is. So you can get your champions that way. You also get some event currency from ranking them up, and then you also get stuff like a profile picture as well as an emote when you finish them all the way to max rank. To level them up, they all have different requirements for you. Basically, get a lot of kills in a game, get multi-kills, don't die too much, get vision score, CC score, those kind of things. So basically play games and eventually you'll get them. Playing as the champion itself should technically also speed up the progress, but on one hand I've played 4 games of Lillia and her rank isn't that high yet. I've played 0 games of Yasuo and I am almost done with ranking him up all the way because I've just been getting a lot of kills in my games. So might not necessarily make a very big difference what champion you are playing, so just play whatever you want and eventually you'll finish out all of the different missions, because there's plenty of time to finish it. I think the event runs for about a month, so there's definitely enough time for you to finish all those missions. Now, when it comes down to all of the promotion and the hype around the event, I think they did a really good job, because as I said before, we had the Lillia reveal trailer, then we had the Path trailer itself for the event, and then yesterday we had the trailer for Yone, which kind of was a teaser where it's mainly about Yasuo, but there is also basically the backstory of what happened with Yone in there as well. And then of course it got revealed that Yone was going to be coming out this event as well, together with his own Spirit Blossom skin. I think the way that they handle this, with all of the teasing from him like basically appearing towards the end of the Path trailer, and then him getting his own 10-minute long trailer yesterday, is a really cool way to hype up the community for a new champion. Of course, Yone himself is available on the PBE right now if you want to go and try him out. I wanted to try him out earlier this morning, but all of the custom games are disabled for solo play, so practice tool solo custom games do not work at the moment, because there's such a high stress on the server, because everybody just basically wants to go and try out the new champion, which I think is pretty normal. Hopefully later down the line, like later today, maybe tomorrow, servers will have died down a little bit and I can go in and try him out myself. I think it looks a little bit weird with his kit, but I'm definitely willing to give him a try, see how I like him, and then maybe make a video on him in the future when he does come out in 2 weeks time, because in 2 weeks time, when the second part of the event comes out, that is where Yone is going to be released on the live servers as well. So definitely looking forward to giving him a try. Now, talking about getting released on live servers, we of course have Lillia, the new champion that was released a few days ago. This is our new jungler, so I was very excited about that because I am a jungler main. I've seen her being played pretty much everywhere. I've seen her top lane, I've seen her as support, seen her in the jungle of course, and I wouldn't be surprised if people are playing her mid lane either, because she kind of lanes pretty well, especially in solo lanes, I feel like, because I do think that she requires some levels to be good. In the support role I've seen her a few times as well, which I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. On one hand, you can poke with your E, you have percentage HP damage through your passive, so it might be quite good. I'm not 100% sure about that one just yet. I've seen some people have good games on it, so it's definitely possible. Now, when it comes down to her jungle game, it's kind of weak early game because you are very squishy. If you do not know how to kite your camps, you're gonna have a hard time, and that might also be one of the reasons why her current win rate is so extremely low. Last time I looked, she had around a 38% win rate or something in the jungle, but that might also have a couple of different reasons. First of all, it's a new champion, people are learning how to play her, and she is a little bit weird to play. She has a very unique playstyle compared to some other champions in the game. Second of all, because she's new, people are trying her out, and people are trying her out in the jungle that might not be jungle players. So they don't know how to camp, they don't know how to jungle and such, and they might just get that big jungle difference that a lot of people are usually talking about. So that might also be another reason why her win rate is low, because people that aren't usually in the jungle are trying her out there, and if you don't know how to kite camps, as I said, you are going to be very squishy by the time that you basically finish your jungle clear, and then you might just get one shot by pretty much anyone. Like, I think the first game I played against her, I played as Kha'Zix. I saw her gank a lane or try to gank a lane. I just waited in a bush, I pressed my Q, W, and she was just dead because she had no HP, because she dropped so low from just her initial clear. So if you know how to kite your camps, then she can come out relatively healthy. Her clear speed is also pretty decent because she's got some really good AoE skills. Later down the line, you can really just zoom through your jungle because of all of the movement speed that you get through your Q, because if you don't know how she works, basically every time you hit an ability on an enemy, can also be minions, can be jungle creeps, can be champions, you basically get a stacking movement speed buff, which makes you go really fast. So her playstyle is kind of like a hit and run playstyle. You just go in, you hit a couple of abilities, you run out, so that you can basically kite away from the champions or your enemy champions, and then when your abilities are up again, you just go back in. So a very unique playstyle, very fun to play. Looks really stupid because you're just like prancing around all the time. It just looks a little bit weird. But yeah, it's basically pretty fun to play, very unique. Definitely going to be trying her out a little bit more because I've had some pretty good games on her. Last 3 games I played really well. So definitely trying her out a little bit more, seeing if I can actually get good on her, and then maybe help make that win rate climb up a little bit more. I do think that the win rate will probably get a little bit better. If it doesn't, then maybe we will see some buffs as well, which I think is really weird for a new champion, because usually whenever a new champion comes out, they are quite OP and they have to get some nerfs immediately. Looking at Yuumi and Sett, But yeah, basically she feels a little bit weak at the moment. Might just be because of the fact that new people are trying her out in the jungle that might not know how to jungle. Might just be because she's very squishy and requires a lot of skill to basically not get murdered by your jungle itself, especially in the early game. Once you're kind of done in the early game, you've got some items, you got some levels, she does feel pretty strong. Of course, the percentage HP damage, if you pair that up together with Liandry's, and then also Rylai's, can be really strong as well. That's kind of been my go-to. I just get jungle item, then Liandry's, then Rylai's, and then Banshee's Veil to kind of tank up a little bit as well, because I do feel she needs a little bit of tankiness to basically be able to stay into the fight. Although you just kind of go in, you run away. If you can kite, then you are basically going to be quite good. So far, really enjoying her, definitely gonna be playing her some more. But that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about for today's video. So far, this event has been pretty exciting. I'm definitely looking forward to see what is going to happen in the second half. Of course, we do know that in the second half, we're gonna get more skins like Ari, Riven, Yone himself, and I think there's a couple of other skins that aren't in the game just yet. So we'll be getting them together with their chromas. Then of course the release of Yone himself will be there as well. And then maybe we'll get another trailer or something. We'll have to wait and see about all of that. So far, pretty good stuff. Really happy with how they implemented all of the story elements into the game as well. For people that want to skip it, they can just hit the skip button. For people that want to be a little bit more immersed in the story and the lore of League of Legends or of the spirit world, they can basically just read through all of the dialogue that is presented to you. And it's just very fun to see at the end of a game, you finished a couple of missions, and instead of just being, oh, claim my rewards, you can just go and talk to the champions themselves to know a little bit more about them. So yeah, that's kind of it for me. I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank my Patreons for supporting me, and I'll see you in the next one.